If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
The hardest thing in life, guys, isn't doing this stuff. Isn't going past your current levels of comfort, hitting new levels, getting knocked in your ass. That's not the hard part of life. The hard part of life is when you don't have the time to do this anymore, and you didn't achieve everything you wanted to do. And you look back on your life knowing there were pockets throughout your existence where you could have applied yourself.
Will be harder than you think and greater than you can imagine. But isn't that the point? It's get. That's what makes it valuable. There's no getting the outcome without becoming the one who deserves it. That's why it's rare, and that's why it's worth it.
The Mamba mentality simply means trying to be the best version of yourself. That's what the mentality means. It means every day, you're trying to become better. And it's a constant quest. It's an infinite quest. We all have dreams, and it's very scary sometimes to accept the dream that you have. And it's scarier still to say, okay, I want that. It's scary because you're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, right? So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it.
Your competition isn't other people. It's your own self-doubt, your own laziness, your own excuses. Too many people waste so much time focusing on what others are doing instead of locking in on themselves. But here's the truth. The only person stopping you from reaching your goals and your dreams is you.
People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
And one of the starting points of great achievement is to start questioning those self-limiting beliefs and throw them off and act as if they did not exist. And when you act as if they didn't exist, lo and behold, they simply disappear.
How people live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves. You live in a dominant culture that is designed to destroy your sense of self and your belief in yourself, and you have to learn ways in which you can begin to connect with this power that you have within yourself to handle where you are. The key is to be constantly in a perpetual process of discovering the truth of who you are and fighting constantly to look for ways in which you can escape the inner conversation.
Wherever you are right now, it's just temporary, young people. You ain't gonna get here without an effort. You just gotta try. I failed more times than anybody in here. I promise you I have.
You have to understand, if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself, dude. You're cheating your family. You're cheating your employees, you're cheating your team, whatever you're a part of. It's bigger than you, man.
What is faith? What is fear? See, faith and fear, they're both made up. No one knows the future. They're both your imagination, whether you have faith or fear. The only difference is fear is imagination undirected. So it's like weeds. Fear grows automatically. Faith is you decide to trust and keep moving forward, trusting life is happening for you, not to you. And if you keep going, it will open.
What do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want? What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them.
Treat yourself like you're someone responsible for helping. And that doesn't mean be good to yourself. It doesn't mean be nice to yourself. It doesn't mean give yourself an easy life. That isn't actually what you do to people if you care for them. You actually present them with something like an optimal challenge. First of all, assume that you're worth taking care of, and that it's your responsibility to do so, even if you don't like yourself very much. And lots of people don't, and they have their reasons. You have to abandon all that. Treat yourself like you're someone you're responsible for helping.
The problem that most of us have is we think that we're all alone. We think that we're the only ones going through all this stuff. I thought it. Your vision becomes very narrowed. And what happened to me was, all I did was I peeled back. And I was able to get on top of a mountaintop in my head. And when you're high on that mountain, you have a great vantage point. And I was able to look down at the world. And all of us are jacked up. Some of us hide it better than others, but we're all jacked up. And once you realize that, you gotta come out of your shell. You gotta accept who you are. You gotta accept the demons that life gave you. Whoever gave them to you, you gotta accept that. You gotta be able to look them in the mirror, look them in the eye, and say, okay, I'm gonna start fixing these things. But if you think that you're by yourself, the reality of your life becomes very, very horrible. And you're not. We are all jacked up. And once you realize that, man, it's like whatever. You don't even look at the crowd anymore. You look at your own race, you do your own race, you do your own thing, and you finally find out who you're supposed to be in this life.
Every visionary was initially called crazy before they were revered. The very nature of disrupting your industry and disrupting a very bored and exhausted and hate-filled world means there will be people who will throw rocks at you. Take the rocks your haters throw at you and build that into monuments of mastery that are a testimony to humanity.
They print money, they don't print time. They don't print opportunities. You can lose money and get it back. You can't get time back. You can't get experiences back. Average people focused on money. The greats focus on time.
And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, if you do that for 20 years, what do you have?
See, when you begin to understand and acknowledge your fear, and you go forth anyhow, you go forth in a spirit and a knowing that there's a way that you can begin to handle this. There's a way out here somewhere. There's a solution. What it is that you're seeking, that you have the capacity to whatever comes up, to handle it, to face it. And rather than feeling powerless, you begin to feel powerful. But there are few people who have decided within themselves, I'm going to make it. Some people are waiting to be cut. Some people are moving on their own because they feel within themselves, I've got what it takes to make it.
Most of us are only 1 to 10% away from greatness. But we think we're so far away from it that we never try. And once I started going down this journey, I started realizing that, and those percents started to add up. And before I knew it, my mind started hardening, that I started passing so many different people that I thought were so far above me. And then before I knew it, man, I became more common and more still common.
Don't ever again, from this day forward, when you're learning something that's valuable, when you're making a decision of something you're going to do, when you set a goal, in that moment, you got to do something that commits you to follow through later on. Because if you act on it longer in state, and you commit to something, and you do something that commits you later on, you'll keep the momentum. Because if you keep changing, you'll find the way.
People want to know how to stop laziness. They want to know how to stop procrastination. They have an idea in their head, maybe even a vision. But they don't know where to start. So they ask and they say, where do I start? When is the best time to start? Then I have a simple answer. Here and now. That's it. Where do you start? You start right here.
So because life is short, I don't have time to focus on what's not. I've got to focus on what is, then get up and go get it. So I need you to understand where you are. So we're not looking for perfect, but we are looking for opportunity, and we have it. So it's like, yo, say it, because I need you to understand what you have, and then I need you to appreciate what you have, and then I need you to go after everything that's got your name on it with no excuses. So it's like, yo, we have opportunity. Whatever you do, don't waste it. Don't cry about it. Get up and go make it happen.
Nelson Mandela has this quote, "In life I don't lose, I only win or learn." Implies like so many people think like they've lost, but like if you just pull one piece of information that's good, whether it's a different perspective, extracting knowledge, a different way to go about life, a different way to not fall on your face, like that's winning. Like they have everything inside of them to do whatever they need to do. You know, over the 23 years of my life, I've realized that it's not this physical body. Have you seen your mindset? Like, have you seen the way you operate? Like, have you seen the way that you react to situations, that you're pissed off in traffic, that you think the world is happening to you? Like, and to let people know that, like, the biggest and baddest people are handicapped and crippled by their limiting beliefs, the things that they tell themselves. And that's why I say the biggest disability is a bad mindset. It's not this body.
I walked a mile. I said, maybe I can walk one more mile. Maybe I can walk another mile. When your mind knows it's not going to quit, and this is what I found out, this is my 40% rule. When your mind knows it's not going to quit, your body will adapt to whatever is in front of it. And that one day changed, that 19 hours. It wasn't SEAL training, it wasn't Ranger School, it wasn't Delta Force, it wasn't any of that crap I went through. It was this 19 hours and 6 minutes that forever changed my life, to know that we as human beings are capable of anything. And we don't need any special kind of parents or tools to get there. So I end you with this. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done.
If you could change the way you wake up in the morning, stop saying, I got to go to work. I got to work out. I got to get this weight off of me. I got to go and meet with the people at the school. I got to deal with my coworkers. Change one word in that sentence and everything about your life changes. I get to wake up in the morning. When you say I got to, you take all of your opportunities and all of your blessings and you wrap them up in stress by saying I got to. You take all the stress off of it when you say I get to.
You initiate action. You go. Here is the reality. That idea isn't going to execute itself. That book isn't going to write itself. Those weights out in the gym, they aren't going to move themselves. You have to do it.
You'll get knocked down, but you won't be knocked out. You'll be able to get to your feet again, be on the ropes, but you'll have a fast recovery rate when you work on yourself. Reinterpreting our past, understanding and knowing that we can move from where we are, that we can begin to design the kind of life that empowers us, that gives us happiness, that enable us to be on top of who we are.
Understand this. Keep rebuilding yourself in private. But make sure when you come back an absolute beast.
Most people spend their entire lives wishing shit was easy, wishing it was fair. It's not fucking fair. Wishing it would line up to be perfect for them. And because they're waiting for this and because it's never coming, they never go. And when they never go, they never become anything. And that's what leads to a wasted life. Conditions are never going to be perfect. Things are always going to be hard. The only hope that you have is to become someone who could push through that hard regardless of what the is going on. And if you can build that level of discipline, that level of mental toughness to execute when things are not ideal, when things are extremely hard, nothing can stop you.
How many really uncomfortable situations are you putting yourself in that challenged you, that grew you, that pushed you to get to that next level of being who you are? Are you under the illusion, and I love you as a friend, but I think sometimes you're under the illusion that you're going to get these external things you want without growing who you are. You could not be further from the truth. In fact, if you were to acquire those things without growing who you are, we understand the power of identity. You will eventually lose those things because they're not congruent with who you are as a person.
Do all that you can do. And when you've done all you can do, and hell still comes to breakfast, let it finish out, then pick up the pieces, learn from it, and start all over again.
There's a really great quote from Mark Manson where he talks about the most important question to ask yourself is what pain are you willing to endure in your life, rather than what pleasure do you want? Because any pleasure or any pursuit that you want is going to come with an in-kind payment of pain. The beautiful thing about life is that you get to choose your hard. Everything in life is hard, but you get to choose what your hard is. It's really hard to live a life of purpose, working on something you care about. It's also really hard to live without purpose. You get to choose the thorns that you're going to have on the path of your journey. It's something that I think about constantly. It's like, how can I just endure this a little bit longer? How can I just embrace this hard of whatever it is that I'm going through?
And the right choice is you can either go out and build your dreams, go through all the hard shit, get knocked down a million times, get punched in the face a million times, get told you're by everybody that you love and everybody that's around you, get made fun of, get laughed at, get picked on, become the joke and continue to move forward and then build your dreams and let your life speak for itself. Or the other choice is you can quit and you could be worse than what you were when you started trying to be better.
Don't talk about what you're going to do. Don't just dream about what you're going to do. Don't criticize somebody else for what they're not doing. You be it. Be about it. Be about that action and go do it. Keep your eye on your intention. Don't let any outside distraction or your own insecurity stop you from your goals. Embrace that struggle. Surviving that struggle will strengthen you.
What can one man do except for give his best? If you fail, you try again. If you win, you try again and get better. So as long as you maintain and you stay consistent, you'll forever be a winner and a champion, and the people who love you in their eyes because they support you nevertheless, as long as you're trying again and again and again.
Legacy that you leave has gotta mean something to somebody. We gotta live for something bigger than ourselves.
Some people will tell you that you don't need to change, but they're wrong. Because in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve, You have to destroy the current version of you. Improvement and growth is change. You can't expect to get the things that you don't have if you don't change the things that you always do. Change is inevitable. You either progress or regress. The choice is up to you.
If you're not being defined by a vision of the future, then you are left with the memories of your past and you'll be predictable in your life. If you're not creating anything new, that means you're believing in your past more than you're believing in your future. So then if the person is living in anger, impatience, resentment, frustration, and they're holding the intention of their future, there's no vibrational match between anything in their future because they're saying, why hasn't it happened? They're waiting for their success to feel abundance, waiting for something outside to change how we feel inside. And if you're living in that lack and you know that you're creating your future, you're creating more lack. And if you're reacting to the people and conditions in your life that are all known to you, then your thoughts and feelings are equal to everything that you know. You keep creating the same life.
It is simply you are thinking 1,000 different thoughts in 1 hour. You are doing around 500 different actions in that hour and experiencing 20 different emotions. And when you think about it through that lens, it is now this finite structure that if you live with a complete intention to use your thoughts with intention, that lead to intentional actions that create the feelings and emotions of joy for the majority of your life, that little framework right there is how you can literally take control of time and ultimately create a harmonious existence for yourself.
Really look back and think about all the things that led to you reaching those moments. It's going to be the tough times. It's going to be that depression. It's going to be that anxiety. It's going to be that heartbreak. It's going to be that setback, that injury, whatever it is, that loss. All those things, right? In the moment, felt like the end of the world. You're going to look back in hindsight and see how they were actually building you up in a way that you just couldn't see in that moment.
Remember, there is nothing in this world that can hurt you as much as your thoughts. And there is nothing in this world that can heal you as much as your thoughts.
Most important conversation is the one you have with yourself. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, you go to bed with it. Eventually, you act on it.
The fact is that you are more amazing than you've ever imagined. You're more qualified, more gifted, more useful, more meaningful than anyone has ever defined or told you you could be. There are times where you've tried to talk yourself into believing your value by looking in the mirror and you haven't gotten the right reflection because you haven't set it with the right inflection.
You're missing out on everything because you're waiting for someday. You're waiting for someday to feel ready, someday for it to be perfect, someday. Well, I'll tell you what, today is that Sunday.
If you want to attract what you want, you've got to see yourself already with it. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. You've got to become what you want. You've got to realize the minute you hold your mind in harmony with the good you want, then you've already got it. It's only a period of time till it manifests in physical form. That's called the perpetual transmutation of energy. That is a law, the first law of the universe.
How badly do you want it? You've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price. You've got to work harder, you've got to commit more, you've got to take more responsibility, you've got to deal with more ups and downs. If we can deal with that question, how much are you willing to suffer?
The size of your dreams must always exceed your current capacity to achieve them. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. If you start off with a small dream, you may not have much left when it is fulfilled, because along the way, life will test your dreams and make demands on you.
Be the hero. Spin the block, man. Spin the block. It might be your day. It might not be your week, your month, your year. Spin the block. Knock again. Knock again. Keep calling. Keep showing up. Keep doing what you've been doing. It's going to pay off. You don't see it right now. But I promise you, it's happening. The roots are growing. The roots are growing. The fruits are coming.
I never ran track, but I've always heard that like if you ever want to be faster, you got to run with a bunch of people who are way faster than you. And there's something that happens with us as humans. When you are surrounded by those who are superior in their performance than you are, you're bound to be lifted up if you're as ambitious. If not, you're wasting everyone's time.
Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development. See, the major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting? The major question to ask on the job is what are you becoming?
You want to know the secret to achieving everything that you dream about? Don't quit. See, when you know what the destination is, there's a million paths to get there. And it took me a long time to learn that the greatest moments of growth and success happen right after you feel like quitting, but you don't. That's the secret. Keep going.
Don't even panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Right now, there's a rebuilding stage. Right now. Right now, you have a chance to rebuild. Because what you're doing is you're looking at everything that went wrong. But you're not looking at what's going to go right tomorrow. Once you sit back, just sit back. Write everything down. Write your list. Write that list down of where you want to be, who you want to be, where you want to go. Look at the world. Look around you. Look at your environment and say to yourself, what do I need to move out of the way in order so I can get to the places I'm trying to go?
That's why people have scars. They're a reminder in their memory. There's something you get past and there's something you live through, but at the end of the day, they're almost there.
All fools in life have one thing in common, according to the Stoics. Seneca says what they all have in common is that they're always getting ready to start. They are delaying to live because they think they have the future, they think they have forever. They say, I'm not ready, or they say, I'm gonna do it after. I'm gonna do it once this thing happens, when conditions are more favorable. They never say to themselves, I'm never going to do it. They say, I'm going to do it later. But no one knows what the future holds. No one knows how much time we have left. Life is happening right now, this second. In fact, the time that ticks by, the Stoics say, belongs to death. It's dead. It can never be recovered. So don't be a fool. Don't delay. You could be good today, Aurelius reminds us. Instead, you choose tomorrow.
You have to work harder than you think you possibly can. Can't hold grudges. It's hard. And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up.
Why are you only doing one thing? Why don't you do shit? Because you're scared. The question is why? Like, I'm just trying to get to why. Who's gonna cast judgment? My friends, every person here that's not 100% happy, including myself, is not doing something because of judgment of somebody else.
That you are not aware of yourself. You don't know yourself. You don't know other people. Okay, so the key here in going about your patterns is to be aware of those patterns. Okay, if you're not aware of those patterns, you will repeat them your entire life because you don't even know that they exist.
My friends, until our society, and this country especially, redefines success in being happy, not being rich, everybody will continue to go down the path that we're seeing in our society. The number one unlock to happiness in this room is to go out there after this talk and get naked about your vulnerabilities, what you suck at, take a step back, go humble. This is about losing in humility at the forefront, and nobody's talking about it.
If you actually spent part of the day thinking about your own thoughts, you would realize that well over half of your thinking revolves around other people and what they have, comparing yourself to them. Your career, your power, your success in life depends on your ability to bring out your uniqueness, to bring out your originality, to be different from the crowd, to show what's different about you. That's your source of power. I call that in my book, Your Life's Task.
You have to be honest with yourself, because if you're incapable of that, you have no prayer of happiness. And being honest with yourself is hard. My friends, we are so good at casting judgment on everybody else. We're unstoppable at that. We're not doing that to ourselves.
We are always thinking about what other people are doing and how you can fit in and how you can impress them. And you're going to lose a sense of who you are, lose a sense of your soul away.
My question is, which one's better? Is it better to be happy, hit on a number, and live within those means? Or is it better chase the money and make yourself vulnerable and unhappy?
I am enough. But enough of what? Every time I hear those words, I feel like they keep getting stuck up in my head, conflicting with all the words that I've said to myself on repeat for most of my life. Yeah, I haven't been very nice to myself. Bottom to top, I spent most of my time focused on why I was not enough. Flat feet, too slow. Chicken legs won't grow. Like self-deprecation was an occupation, I went pro long ago. And I know that the mind learns through repetition. And no matter how quiet I speak, it's always around to listen. Creating the vision of who I am based on my self-talk. So why not speak what I can and stop all the can-nots? Because I got a lot of knots. I thought a lot of thoughts that brought a lot of nada, so I fought to make them stop. And I finally gave my ego what it wanted, and I told it what I am not. I am not dumb. I am not ugly. I am not giving up. I am not weak. I will get back on my feet no matter how much I slip up. I am not broken. I am not afraid. And so when the going gets tough, I can see what I am not, and it reminds me I am enough. I am enough strength to overcome any obstacle placed in my way. I am enough courage to keep my heart open after heartbreak. I am enough will to get through any hard day. I am enough fun to turn all my work into play. I am enough pride to not be torn down by what others say, and I am enough humility to own up to all my mistakes. And it doesn't take a special ability, just a perspective shift to go through this list and always remember this. For everything I'm not, there's something that I am. For everything I can't, there's something that I can. I can be happy. I can be free. I can be authentic. In fact, I'm already me. And I am so grateful and proud of me and everything I am. And so for the rest of my life, I will do whatever I can to remember that, yeah, I am not a lot of stuff, but there's one thing I am. I am enough.
The biggest challenge that you face is going from believing to know.
We are Imagineers. We have this capacity to conjure up these delightful future possibilities, choose the most amazing possibility, and then pull the present forward to meet those possibilities.
Many people live in that world. It's the world of appearances. It's the world of lack and limitation and fear, doubt and worry. It's the world of business as usual. Humanity will never ever solve any of these problems. So just get rich, be happy until you die, or be anti-bored until you die. But the moment you begin to break free from that construct, you begin to see a different world. That you have the ability to think independent of circumstances. You have the ability to think independent of your historical self. You have the ability to think independent of anything that's happened to you and to make a new choice.
My destiny is not in your hands. People that are manifesting their greatness they find a way to win. Muhammad Ali down the first time by Joe Frazier, and Howard Cosell asked him, "Why did you jump up so quickly?" And Muhammad Ali said, "I looked around and saw where I was," and he said, "A canvas is no place for a champion."
See a world of possibility. You begin to see a world of opportunity. You begin to see a world where your assignment is. In the first world of appearances, it's just trying to make it in the construct of separation, comfort zones, conveniences. In the second world, you see opportunities, you see possibilities.
That this is possible, that this is doable, that each and every one of you, when looking in the mirror, when you have that faint disquiet late at night, when you haven't slept and anxious and you don't know what your purpose is, or you think you might not be able to have enough of an impact, think exponentially. Understand that it's not just the metaphysical, lofty, spiritual bumper sticker lingo. Well, that's all good too. This is all grounded in tangible fact. Also, it's both. It's poetic truth built on data-driven extrapolations.
In life, you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges.
You're not in the past, you're not in the future, you're not in the present. The past, shame, blame, immature pride. Future, ambition and fear. Present, sometimes is embarrassment and vanity. It can become an open door for the eternal now.
Shitty things are going to happen to you if they haven't already, and I'm sure they have. Many tragedies have befallen every person in this room. And what I want you guys to recognize right now is thank God. Because those are the things that weed out the sick and the weak. Those are the things that weed out the people who they don't have the fortitude to see it through. My ability to handle suffering, my ability to keep going when something is boring, my ability to learn, I endure, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how painful it is. If it lives in service of my goals, I do it.
What gives you confidence, not being afraid, is overcoming the fear. I found out the whole key to life. It's not in all that. You have to face yourself. So many people live to be 100 years old and they die miserable, having everything.
The questions you ask yourself will determine the course of your life. I had been asking myself, what do I need to do to get rich? So I changed the question. And I started asking, what would I do and love every day, even if I were failing?
Everybody's got a story. We don't share it on social media. We share our nice life on social media. We all have a dungeon. I'm just willing to talk about mine. Mental toughness isn't something that you sample. It's something that you live in every day.
Life is chaos. It takes an inhuman amount of effort to bring order to that, to find success in the middle of that. So while I cannot promise you success, I can promise you failure. I cannot promise you happiness, but I can promise sadness. So if you know those are the guarantees and the other things are the things you have to strive for, you better be striving in service of something that in and of itself is interesting to you.
If you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what talents, what books, what music, what leadership, what voice will die with you?
I know the excuses. So do you. Of course you do. Listen as you rattle them off one after the other. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I need a rest. I'll do it later. I'll work extra hard tomorrow. I worked hard yesterday. Make it happen. Through force of will, make it happen. Don't be weak.
I believe that the single most important skill is the ability to make effective decisions. Because everything comes from decision. You only get new results if you take new actions. You only take new actions if that decision it comes first. In other words, decision is the father or mother of all action.
Here's the truth. This is the reality. Nobody's going to believe in you until you've already done it. Nobody's going to come and celebrate with you until you've already done it. The work is going to come before the belief, which means you're going to have to work for a long fucking time by yourself with no applause, with no awards. Nobody fucking believes in you because you haven't done anything yet. That's the reality.
What if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? That it was wrong. That you were chosen to do something else. And you didn't do it.
Meaning comes from working on something. It's that simple. I think a lot about, the act of going for a hike. The purpose of going for a hike, ironically, is not to get to the top. It's to be on the trail. If you focus on the freaking trail, whatever step you're on, and you keep reminding yourself, this is going to lead me somewhere, that is where the meaning comes in your life.
If I were to cut my hand and watch it, my nature says, flows up the wound. And I just have to watch it. And there's a healing stream that I am connected to that will allow that wound to heal. So my nature says, close up the wounds. Don't bond to them, don't hang on to them, close them up. And your nature also says, close up the wounds of your past. Close them up. And oftentimes we ignore our nature.
If you want to be great, want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody. Because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of fucking people. It is. But if you want to fucking go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you can do, you've arrived. When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive.
It comes from when you make a decision to be disciplined. When you make a decision to be better. When you make a decision to do more and to be more. Self-discipline comes when you decide that you're going to make a mark on the world. And if you think that you're not disciplined or you can't be disciplined, it's because you haven't yet decided to be disciplined. It's because you haven't created that discipline yet.
Beliefs create and beliefs destroy. Every belief you have either creates or destroys. And the problem is most of us are not conscious of the beliefs that we have. A belief is nothing but a feeling of absolute certainty about what something means. When you're absolutely certain about what something means, you have a belief. You might give you're worthy or not worthy, but all you're really saying is, I feel certain about this. They literally change our life. We don't experience life. We experience the life we focus on.
It's not what happens that determines the major part of your future. It's not what happens. What happens to us all. Said the key is what you do about it. It's not what happens, it's what you do about it.
Demonstrate that you like yourself. Demonstrate that you accept yourself. Because if you like yourself, you don't go out in the world and look for other people to like you because you don't need it.
Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places. If you develop your gifts, Most of us don't like to do those things that come easy to us. You have something that you brought to the universe, and that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this one I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, if you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.